my name is Ali and welcome to my channel. We are back with Hakuoki Kyoto wins Okita's route. I always forget because I keep saying, because I'm so used to saying Hijikata. Now I'm like, no, Hiji, no. Anyway, let's just go. I nodded quickly and ran off through the carnage. He's upstairs. I took them two at a time and landed hard on the top floor. It didn't take long to spot him. Oh! Only a few feet from me, Okita was battling a Ronin. I felt my stomach lurch. Oh, shit. The cold ring of steel against steel tore through the air, and their blades flashed lines of light in the darkness. I don't remember what I did for his voice. Whatever. You know, you had me wondering how the Shinsengumi were doing. This the best you can do? The strange Ronin's eyes narrowed and his mouth curved into a smug smile. I'd seen Okita train with the soldiers, and his skill with the blade had been clear. But this Ronin, the way he dodged, parried, and slowly drove Okita back, seemed almost effortless. Well, sorry about that. I had to pause for a second. My mother called me. Anyway, let's try to get back to what I was doing. Well, I don't care to waste any more time on you. I'm taking off. Thanks for the dance, chump. The blood and violence that was choking the inn had no effect on him, it seemed. He was so peaceful, in fact, that he hardly looked like he belonged in the middle of all that carnage. Sorry, pal, but I can't do that. You're our enemy, so you've gotta die. A smile split his face for half a second, and then he launched himself at the Ronin. Their swords slammed together. To my untrained eye, it looked as though the Ronin was a self-taught swordsman. His sword moved in large, crude arcs, while Okita responded with skill and finesse. In a contest of skill, Okita would have been the clear winner, but as their blades sprang apart, it was always Okita's who found himself pushed back. The Ronin's sword was heavy but fast. It was clear he was Okita's superior in raw power. The summer heat had turned the air thick and humid. I could barely breathe. Sweat poured down my spine and beaded on my face as quickly as I could wipe it off. Okay. I decided to distract the Ronin. Nearby, a bowl sat unattended on the floor. If I could use that to distract the Ronin briefly, it could give Okita the opening he needed. With every ounce of strength I had, I hurled the bowl straight at the Ronin. Oh. Almost without thinking, he turned his blade and smashed the bowl to the floor. The moment of distraction gave Okita his opening. He leapt forward. He even caught off guard, the Ronin managed to get his blade up in time, but the blow sent him stumbling back to a step or two, an angry look on his face. As Okita lifted his sword towards the opponent, he whispered in a voice so only I could hear it. Butterfly. Good job, Chizuru. Wait, that wasn't his voice. Good job, Chizuru. I knew now wasn't the time to bring it up, but I'm glad I'd been able to help. Pathetic. The strange Ronin's sword whipped through the air, little more than a silvery blur. Okita accepted the blow with his sword. However, the opponent's blow from above was too powerful. Okita stumbled ever so slightly, but the man did not miss that opportunity. Arg! The Ronin's foot slammed the center of Okita's chest. The source of his tremendous strength apparently extended to his leg, as well as his sword arm. I heard a wet crunch as the kick connected. Oh, God. Ugh. And Okita tumbled across the floor of the room. When he stopped, I saw him grip his chest and cough. Man, I have heard the sound of breaking bones. I worked in a gym kids club, like a kids club at a gym. And there was a 2-year-old, and I hated that they allowed kids from like 6 months to 12 years old, all in the same room. It drove me nuts. Well, a 2-year-old was plowed over by a 6-year-old, and 2 of his bones in his legs broke. And I heard it, and I knew something was wrong, and it broke my heart that 2-year-old was in so much pain, and we had to call the parents. Parents didn't take him immediately, which broke my heart. But now having my own kid, it's like, how can you care more about your workout time than your own kid? Sorry, that always pissed me off, that they would rather work out than take care of their kid. We found out later the kid never went to the emergency room till the next day, which broke my heart. That poor kid was screaming bloody murder, couldn't walk, anything, and it was found out later he broke 2 bones in his leg. And that, oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, hearing that crunch, I knew exactly, that crack, I knew exactly what that noise was, and it broke my heart. Anyway, so yeah, it's one of the noises that if you hear it, you'll know it for the rest of your life, pretty much. Okita! I leapt across the room. Are you all right? His face was tight with pain. The most he could manage was labored gasps and wet, tearing coughs. Okita was in no condition to fight. As I struggled to move myself under his arm to lift him up, I glared at the strange Ronin. I don't suppose you mean to kill me as well? Let's have at it. I like watching children squirm. I watched the tip of his blade drift up to me. With a groan of pain, Okita lifted himself up and stumbled between me and the Ronin. Oh, hello. CG already. I think didn't it take a while for Hijikata's CG? I think so. No, Okita, you can't. There was a good chance he had broken bones, and if he was coughing up blood, then his internal organs could be damaged as well. He could barely stand, let alone fight, and he was making no attempts to hiding it. But he stood firm. You're fighting me, right? You're fighting me, right? Leave the kid alone. The Ronin sneered. What a fool. Just what do you intend to do? You're as good as dead. You could scarcely stand. Shut up! I've still got some fight left, you bastard. New flecks of blood appeared as he shouted. Stop that! You're still coughing up blood. The Ronin regarded us with cool, disinterested eyes, and for a few moments, then in one smooth motion lifted his sword and slid it into his scabbard. What? The moment their meeting was interrupted, my business here was at an end. That was entertaining, Shinsengumi. However, your swordmanship was a pathetic display. His aloofness was amplified by the satisfaction he drew with his every word. He placed his foot out of the window, cackling to himself as he jumped through gracefully. Did he just run? No, he hadn't run. He was letting us go. Damn it! I could still fight. Okita. His voice was weak. Why did you do that? Nope, of course it does this. Okita turned his head to look at me. You always said you'd kill me if I got in your way. So why had he protected me? He raised a shaky eyebrow. Huh? Yeah. Well, why did I do that? Why can't I read? His words were already slurring. I'll figure that out later. But I really gotta kill that. Oh no. Okita! His eyes fluttered and his body folded as he collapsed to the floor. Huh? I'd been so worried about Okita I hadn't noticed. The sounds of screaming men and clattering swords had disappeared. Is it over? Soji, are you all right? The moment the words were out of my mouth, I heard the sound of labored footsteps on the stairs. Jeez. Finally the sun rose from the black sky. The raid itself had lasted only 2 hours, but for me, at least, it had felt far longer. There had been 20 imperial nationalists at the Ikeda Inn. The Shinsengumi had killed 7 Ronin and injured 4 more. I learned later that, with the help of the Aizu domain and the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, why can I never say judiciary? I say it in some of them. Commissioner. They arrested 23 people. The owner of the Ikeda Inn had also been arrested for trying to help the Choshu rebels escape. The Shinsengumi had won an incredible victory, fighting against superior numbers in enemy territory, but they paid dearly for it. Okita had taken a blow to the chest and lost consciousness. Heisuke had been cut on the forehead, and the bleeding refused to stop. Nagakura had injured his left hand. One of the Shinsengumi's soldiers lost his life at the inn's rear entrance, and 2 others were severely injured there as well. Guess they weren't as important with no names. It didn't seem likely that they would survive. The Kyoto military and judiciary commissioners also fought the Choshu Ronin. With their successful resolution of the Battle of the Ikeda Inn, the Shinsengumi had, at last, made a name for themselves. It looked as though the peace in Kyoto had been protected. Never could I have imagined what the ultimate result of their victory would be. Goodbye. All right, July of 1864. Man, that's intense. Ugh. I like how, the beginning, like the prologue and stuff, has the same story for each one of them, and you just have to pick the answers and stuff. But I also like that the story is still kind of the same in between, but it depends on who you go with, which is interesting. Now, I do prefer the games where the story is different for each one, not you have to go through the prologue all over again just to get to the right route you want. So this type of, the way they're doing the story is not my favorite, but like if you seen the videos I make with Mystic Destinies, they have where you don't have to go through the whole prologue all over again. All you have to do is just pick the person. So, and the stories are almost like completely different, which is interesting. It's not like you have the same storyline over and over and over again. But anyway, enough of my rambling. End of July, 1864. Weeks passed since the Battle of Ikeda Inn. In the meantime, the Shinsengumi grew stricter during the rounds to arrest the numerous outlaw Ronin that escaped from the Ikeda Inn. Rumors surfaced of extremists who were plotting to exact revenge on the Shinsengumi. Additionally, there were also problems occurring with warriors spanning from other domains, making things tense around the headquarters. Things were finally settling down. As a result of my efforts during the battle, they grew more encouraging of my involvement. I did turn down the background noise since the last episode. That was really loud. But anyway, the Shinsengumi allowed me to sweep the area in front of the headquarters on my own. One day I was cleaning the courtyard with a broom when I heard gentle footsteps approaching me. Excuse me, but is this the Shinsengumi headquarters? Oh, yes. Oh yeah, it's this guy. Forgot about him, because we didn't see him this time. The voice came from behind me, so I was caught off guard when answering. You're... Huh? Still makes me wonder how... Sorry about that, I don't know if you heard that. Our dryer went off. Still makes me wonder how he knows us. I don't remember if it said it in the last route. I don't know. Hijikata showed up suddenly as if he telepathically knew I was speaking to someone. Oh, Hijikata, this man is... Before I could finish my sentence, the man ran towards Hijikata. Oh, I knew it! Toshi! It's me, Hachiro! Long time no see. Wait, Hachiro? What the hell are you doing here? When Hijikata realized who it was, his eyes grew wide, and of course this popped up again. Are you surprised? I visited Kyoto with shogunate order. Jeez, I can't read. Forget about me, man. Man, so it really was you connected to the Shinsengumi. I couldn't believe it until I made sure for myself. Congratulations! You really did become a samurai. Aw, come on, don't mock me. I mean, we're treated no better than any Ronin. Yes, but your dream of becoming a samurai came true. Hey, I said don't mock me. Oh, come now. The Shinsengumi are famous in Edo.
You are so feared that even crying children go hush. I heard about your victory at the Okita Inn. It would seem you lot are flourishing.
Well, we're working on it. How very unlike himself. Hijikata seemed to be flustered and his cheeks were rosy. Judging from their conversation, it appeared that this gentleman had come to visit Hijikata. The rhythm of their rapport seemed to suggest that they had been friends for quite some time. Once I verified their conversation had come to a halt, I mustered the courage to speak to Hijikata. Hijikata? May I ask who this is?
Oh, yeah. You two haven't met, I take it. Oh, I haven't introduced myself yet, huh? I'm Hachiro Iba. I'm a Hatamoto of the shogunate, Jiki-san, and I'm an Okuzume of the Obanshi. I'm so sorry if I butchered those so bad.
Oh, I'm Chizuru Yukimura.
Chizuru, nice to meet you officially.
Oh, yes. Nice to meet you too. As soon as Iba and I finished our introductions, Hijikata was inclined to get us indoors.
Hey, we don't need to have this conversation out in the sun. Why don't you come inside?
I took tea to the two in the hall. Hijikata told me to remain there, so I decided to listen in.
So you claimed you came to Kyoto with shogunate orders? Sure climbed that social ladder, huh?
In Okuzume? I listened intently, but subtly, since I was unfamiliar with the contents of the conversation.
He's entrusted with protecting the shogun and his guests and friends who surround him.
Oh, wow! I am honored to meet such a man. There goes my dryer again.
I'll have to get those in a second. Oh, please. I am nothing special. This was a job I acquired from connections with my father.
But, what would bring a man of his stature here, Hijikata? This meant Iba was someone who worked directly with the shogun. What an honor. It made no sense why he would interact with the Shinsengumi or why he had business with us.
Oh, I see what you're thinking. You're thinking, why would he know a guy like me, huh?
I did my best to nod without offending him.
You see, not only is he a Hatamoto, but he's the heir of the Shinyoto Ryu Iba Dojo, a top 4 dojo in Edo. The Iba Dojo and my dojo socialized often, so this is how we came to know each other. Yes, that's right. When I got word that I would be coming to Kyoto, I was excited because I knew I would see Toshi. Whatever. Just keep in mind Kyoto isn't exactly a vacation destination. Yes, I'll keep that in mind. However, despite it being so dangerous, it seemed even a woman can be in the Shinsengumi.
Iba glanced at me when he asked his question before looking at to Hijikata. I gasped and I gasped and cupped my hands over my mouth, and Hijikata's eyes darted towards me sternly. It would seem Iba picked up on the fact that I was a female, judging by their interaction, and of course that pops up again.
Oh, was that supposed to be a secret?
I didn't want to confirm any answers, so I stared towards the mat underneath without speaking.
Well, her reasons for being here are somewhat complicated, so we have her pose as a man for now. Only a portion of the men of the Shinsengumi know about her, so it would be preferred if you were to keep it under wraps in front of our men. Understood. I'll do whatever you ask me, Toshi.
Iba drew Hijikata in closer in a jovial manner, and Hijikata blushed at the notion. Hijikata is normally really uptight, so seeing him behave this way was startling. I had a lingering suspicion that Hijikata was actually enjoying himself. And of course this pops up too. My goodness, I don't know why it does that. If you click certain areas, things just pop up, which is really annoying. All of the commotion must have alerted the captains because they popped up from nowhere.
Oh, what the hell? Hachiro, is that you? I knew I heard your voice somewhere. It really was you, huh? Shinpachi, Harada, everyone else is here too? Long time no see, boys. Man, you're in Kyoto too? Are you here to train or are you sightseeing?
Don't be stupid. I'll bet he's here to protect someone important or something, am I right?
Jeez, why did I sound weird? Well, maybe it's something like that. If you're in Kyoto, I assume you have a pretty good position. Iba nodded plainly in response.
I see. You're in Kyoto too, huh? Well, be careful. Don't be stupid and die or something.
Thank you for the warning. I'll keep that in mind.
Hey, we should go drinking someday. I mean, we could go now if you want.
Each of the captains surrounded Iba and exchanged words. Most of all, Iba seemed lost in the amount of fun he had while conversing with everyone. I'm actually going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying. And if you didn't notice the last few episodes I've recorded, my toilet hasn't gone off. Yay! It's because we had the maintenance guy come in and fix it because it was just getting annoying. And I swear her water bill just went sky high because of it. So anyway, I hope you are enjoying and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!